Hello everybody, welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. I'm going to show you today how to make this picture here. This was originally black and white. I'll pull up the original here. This is what it originally looked like with the flag in the background that was made previously. I added the flag, which was also black and white. I added the picture over top of it, turned it into this. So we're going to look at how we did this. Let's open up Photoshop here. Open up the Photoshop. This is it. As you can see, we have about 10 color fill layers here. Let's try and open this from the start here. Let's cancel that. Let's open up. I'm going to grab the picture of good old John Wayne here. Alright. Now, what I normally like to do is come up and grab your quick selection tool. And we're just going to grab the selection here of his hat. Alright, now that we have the hat selected, I come down here. I'm going to create a color layer, solid color layer. Grab a color, I'm going to go with brown here. Click OK. Now yes, it does look a little funky. We're going to come up here to our blending mode. I'm going to set that to overlay. And that'll change the color of that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add this, do this for every section of his body. For example, let's do his jacket here. Now if you get sections like I did there, what I like to do, if I find that the quick selection tool wants to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, I'll come up here to refine edge, turn on my smart radius, increase that to about 1.4, and smooth the edges out a little bit. Then what I'll do is, while the smart radius is activated, I'll come down here with my brush and I'll just paint in of course it's not wanting to cooperate with me, so we're going to do another trick. We're going to click OK. We're going to come down, click the solid color layer. We'll go with just a little bit darker of a brown. Click OK. We're going to turn this into an overlay. Now, as you can see, it created a mask. Now, in order to get these fine details, I can click on this mask, grab my paintbrush tool, and as long as I'm painting in white, increase the paintbrush here. As long as I'm painting in white, it's going to move that mask And let me cover this in an overlay of brown. Now what the overlay is doing is it's going to keep the highlights and the midtones and all the darkness and the lines, and just kind of overlay that color over top of that layer. And of course, finished product, I'd come through here and touch up everything like that. But what I'd like to show you is how to do the eyes. Alright. Now for the eyes, because the quick selection tool can be a pain in the neck. And of course here it wants to cooperate with me. Come over here, hold down Shift. Alright, now we're going to click here. This little kind of half circle, halfway filled in. Click solid color. And go with the blue. Let's go with that color blue. That looks good. Alright. Now before I do that, we need pupils. So I'm going to grab my brush tool, switch it over to white. Click the layer mask over my brush tool down. And for some reason it's not working. Alright, let's try. There we go. This one, for some reason, wanted to be black. Alright, now I'm going to take it and we're going to go with overlay. Hold down Alt and zoom out here. And you can go through and refine the edges again. Everything like that. Alright. And now, in order to add the American flag, now you're going to do that for each individual part. When I did mine, the face didn't like to come out, so I grabbed my paintbrush tool, grabbed a flesh colored and that's not it. Sometimes Photoshop just does not want to cooperate with you. I'm not sure what's going on here. But, for example, we'll go back to the original here. The skin layer, if I turn all these off here. That I grabbed the paintbrush tool, grabbed a color up here, and just came at it and painted it. Zoomed in, of course. And then turned it into an overlay layer, as you can see here. Now, of course, the opacity is 100%. Alright. Now, what I did to get my colors right, and you guys may have your own tricks to the trade here, but what I did was went down here to place embedded right there, and I happened to find a actual picture of John Wayne wearing the same stuff. Held down Shift, blew it up a little bit here, and I kind of placed it over in the corner here. And I just grabbed my colors off of this, as you can see. Because if you went to it like for example that. Alright, grab the eyedropper tool here, or I on your keyboard, and you can pull the color off you want. Now, if you double click on it, let's say I wanted to change that. Double click on it, those are his eyes. And I click here. Now I did my eyes on 2 separate layers, but it'll change it to any color I want. And grab what I want. And it'll change it. And then, once I'm done doing my picture, just come down here. You see that little icon there means it's embedded. I come down here and I just delete layer and it's gone. Now let's open up that picture of John Wayne there. Alright, now always click that unlock button, because otherwise you're not doing anything to this. Right. And if you do it to all the other layers, you won't need to anyway. But for this one, we're going to need to. So you come up here to the Quick Selection tool, grab your Magic Wand tool, and click anywhere in the white. And then hold down Control and X, and make it go bye-bye. Do it to this side, Control X, make it go bye-bye. And then right here underneath his ear, Control X, make it go bye-bye. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to place embedded. We're going to go down to the flag that I made. There's the original one you can see. Flag that I made. Same steps. Use the Quick Select tool to select all these parts. Use the color fill there. And build them in with color. It's quite simple. Alright. I missed a spot. Well, then Control T to do your transform, free transform. That over a little bit. Alright, hit enter when you're done. Now I've got to move this underneath this layer, and voila. Now the trick I did to get this little bit of white you see around here, because unfortunately it's a black and white picture, I went down here and I grabbed my blur tool. Click on the layer of John Wayne, get you a nice little like 70 brush, 50% strength, and just go through and kind of color the edges a little bit. What it'll do is it'll dull up the edge and blur it a little bit. What it'll do is it'll bring that white line out and kind of blend it with the background, and now it looks like it kind of fits together. Of course, take your time, zoom in, zoom out, do the fine details. Details are important. And then you'll end up with a picture like that. Now, I appreciate y'all's time, and I will see y'all next time on the next Misadventures of Photoshop.